Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Luna Geeks Out channel. Now, I'm filming this later in the day than I really wanted to. It ended up being quite busy today, so my apologies for any horrendous lighting in this video. I'm having to rely on what little natural light there is outside left. I've got the window all the way open, and it seems to be good, but it's a bit rough. Also, camera battery is quite low, so there may be just an awkward cut at some point in here. Hopefully I'll be done beforehand. It's a shorter song, and I probably won't have as much to say on the music, so it shouldn't take too long. But we are checking out BLACKPINK's track, Shut Down. I'm very excited about this. I've certainly heard a lot of mixed stuff about the album. And I know, of course, the BLACKPINK fans like it, and a lot of the folks who aren't as into BLACKPINK tend to be saying that it's not that great. I know, I would not necessarily go so far as to call myself like a big fan of BLACKPINK stuff, but I quite enjoy their songs. I know, certainly the previous track I've heard off of this one I liked, and I know I like what they tend to go for, so I've got, at least fairly high hopes for this track. I don't know exactly what to expect from it, but I do expect to enjoy it. So, without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright. Classic BLACKPINK in your area, but nice. I think this is a sample of a much older song, even. Of course, adding in almost the trap elements. Tank. It's or Soviet Tank, I think. If because I remember they were sort of recreating all the different sets that they've used. So I think that's an old Soviet Tank. This is a really cool vibe. This is probably the most interesting track I've heard from them musically so far. Hey, yeah, this is actually really good. Good bass synth there. That's really nice. You don't wanna be on my best side. That's right, I'm sliding through. Bunch of wannabes that wanna be me. Me three if I was you. Been around the world, pose on your girl, Vivian is being invested. Need a lesson, great beat throughout this. I just hit the microphone. Great beat throughout this. It's not necessarily that you can move around to as much, but gets you into it, certainly. Okay, interesting little sort of shift there, little pause, everything like that. Now that violin, I think that's violin, just beautiful. Great backing track to this. Alright, a bit more happening now at the, I think this is towards the end of the song. A little bit more coming in, quite nice. Alright, definitely a bit more coming in. Sort of a bridge, I guess. Alright, that was... I mean, I was expecting to like that. I always like BLACKPINK stuff, but I never would have expected that. And I'm glad I did not really have any spoilers going in, aside from the one spoiler that they had a sample from some older song. And let me actually look and see what that one is. Kicking off with a sample of Paganini's 1826 popular violin melody, La Campanella. I'm probably butchering that, just coming off of the, I guess, description on Genius. But yeah, I knew that about the song, and that was it. Nothing could have prepared me for that. That was very cool. But we're going to start off with some lyrical analysis, and there's some stuff I really like and some stuff I don't like as much. So we'll start off with the positive, because I do like to be positive here on this channel, and just in general, and it's easy to be positive. So let's talk about the stuff I like. Right off the bat, it's sort of lyrically, the theming is calling back to Pretty Savage off of the album, which is one of my favorite tracks on there. So right off the bat, that makes me happy, you know, some similarities to a great track they've done before. But the theming itself is actually quite nice. It is sort of the idea of, you know, that the haters and everything aren't gonna get to them. That they're still gonna be around, and they're still gonna be powerful and everything. I quite like that. It's a message that is not always done all that well, and certainly there's some issues with how they handled it here. But it's a good message in general, so I quite like that. And there are some lines I really enjoy. Of course, there's the BLACKPINK in your area. That's always nice to hear, and you know, I love that idea of almost, I suppose, that they're like there for you in a sense. So, what in tarnation? My screen just started flickering. Okay, what? That's not good. Okay, don't know what just happened there, but then, there's the line, heads turn, careful, you might break your neck. I quite like that. Of course, that idea that, you know, they're sort of getting people's attention, but, you know, it's not always necessarily good attention, and maybe an idea of, like, people are a bit too quick to turn and put some hate on them, so you be a little careful, buddy, you might be making a mistake there, that kind of thing. And then, praying for my downfall, many have tried. I like that. Again, it's that idea that there are people out there hating on them and everything, and that idea of there's a lot of folks out there trying to do that. But then the shift into Catch Me When You Hear My Lamborghini and everything, it's like, that don't matter to me. I like that. I do think, I'll get into it a little later. I think that line right there, that transition, what it transitions into, is not perfect, but the transition itself, sort of what they're trying to do there, I quite like. Let's see if there's one other bunch of wannabes that want to be me. Jenny saying that one, I quite like, because now I'm not too well versed in K-pop yet. It's a genre that I quite like. I'd probably say it's my second favorite genre after metal, of course, but I haven't listened to a ton of it. So, I could be wrong with this, but I've not really heard any groups out there trying to sort of emulate BLACKPINK's sound. They have very much their own sound, but I definitely think a lot of folks are wanting to have their success. I mean, they're definitely one of the most successful K-pop groups out there, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are the biggest girl group, at least right now, certainly one of the biggest, and again, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but there's definitely folks who are wanting to, you know, have the same level of success and everything, but there's never going to be another BLACKPINK. So yeah, the song has some good lyrical theming, but there are a few issues, and quickly, I want to point out a bit of an irony about this, the annotation from just the original version of the song, not the English translation that I'm using for the analysis. For the line, praying for my downfall, many have tried, baby, it says, BLACKPINK are 4 successful Asian women in a male-dominated industry. They are frequently hated on for minor things called talentless, and people often say that their songs have no meaning and are the same. And so, me shifting into some criticism on the lyrics and some things that, a couple of them I probably will go into some things that don't necessarily make much sense as sort of some flaws. I just think is a bit perhaps humorously ironic with the song we're talking about this time. So I just wanted to quickly point that out because I don't know, I thought it was a little funny. But there are some flaws I have with this, and it's mostly, I just think the execution here is not great. Like, to go back to praying for my downfall, many have tried, baby, catch me when you hear my Lamborghini go vroom, 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 vroom. That transition into, oh, you're trying to get me down, but you're not going to do it. Let me just hop into my Lamborghini. You know, it comes across as rather boastful and everything. And then, if I can find the other line, there's one other in here that sort of tied back into that. in the pre-chorus, will make the money rain, don't trip, baby, sit humbly, just sit, baby. I think that juxtaposition of, oh, we got money, we got, fancy car and everything, and then an element of humility is certainly something they've tried to put out in different songs as well. I think it's not a great juxtaposition. I don't think it sort of blends together very well. And BLACKPINK in general, just their lyricism is not great. I don't really go to songs for the lyrics. I go to them for the good music. But BLACKPINK, I've certainly noticed just maybe, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe stuff just gets lost in translation and it works better in the original Korean. But what I see with the lyrics just is not great. It's got some solid ideas. I will almost always say that. The ideas are solid. And every now and then there is a song I really like the lyrics in. Ice Cream, for example, while it's not a particularly deep song by any means, has some great lyricism. I love the wordplay and everything. That is a song I quite enjoy the lyrics of. I think those were very well done. But most of the time, they've got some good ideas, like this one, or Same and Pretty Savage, which I haven't actually taken a full look at the translation of the lyrics, so I can't talk about the level of quality with them. But that's a great idea, but the execution is just not great. And the biggest issue I have is one that I agree with a post I saw on the K-Pop Rant subreddit a couple weeks ago. I can't remember who made it, but they're talking about how BLACKPINK apparently all come from fairly rich backgrounds, and that sort of is reflected in their music. It does come across as, like I said a moment ago, sort of boastful, for lack of a better term. And now, I don't think that's sort of what they're trying to do. From what I've seen in interviews and everything, they seem like good folks. Seem quite nice, but certainly the way it comes across is just not great. And that definitely comes across in this song as well. Now, I don't hate the lyrics in here. I think they're quite nice. There definitely were a lot of lines I enjoyed. But they're not great. And there is one other that I just remembered. It's not a comeback since we never left. It's been, 2 years since the last release? It's a comeback. That's just not a great line. Some of the other ones are, I get what they're going for, maybe not executed all that well. Some of the ones in some of their other songs, and going into solo stuff as well, are just kind of silly, kind of cringe. That's just not a great line right there. It's a comeback. They were gone for 2 years, not putting anything new out, if I've got my timing right. It's a comeback, so that's just not a good line. But to bring it back to something positive, I do really like what the song is going for, and it does have some great lyrics. It's just, it has a few things that fall flat, but fortunately they don't ruin it by any means. I can still fully enjoy this song, even if I think some of the lyricism is rough. And speaking of fully enjoying the song, let's talk about the music. That's a terrible segue, but the music was very cool. Vocals, will start off with those, were about what I would have expected from BLACKPINK. Maybe actually a little better than I normally would have expected. I thought the sort of style they were going for, almost a bit of a darker style, I think was quite nice. The rap section, while I preferred it in Ready for Love, was very good. The chorus, of course. The pre-chorus was probably my favorite part of the song. I think really the first 2 lines in each pre-chorus, just the way they flowed together and everything was, that was beautiful. But very good song vocally. The violin sampling of, what was the song name? La Campanella, again, probably butchering that pronunciation. Frankly, that was beautiful. That was, like I said, something I never would have expected. But, I don't know how they made that work, but that was amazing. It's something I never would have expected to hear from anyone, but quite nice. I think it really worked with this song. As, as I say stuff, I'm thinking of cool things. It's like they were taking all their old sets and, shutting down, turning them into something new. It's like it was old sets recreated and everything. It's an old song from 1826, quite an old song, with a lot of new stuff thrown on top of it. So there is, I suppose, some kind of, cannot project since the battery is low. I'll have to, make sure I go fast, and I've still got some battery life, fortunately. But, I think that, that sort of paired together well with what they're doing with the music and what they're doing in the video. But yeah, the violin was just, that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The bass synth kind of thing, electronic bass, whatever the term for that would be, quite nice, good sound, and good feel to it. It's not a real bass, and I love a real bass, or a good bass guitar, but it was very good. Electronic bass, in electronic music, can be pretty hit or miss for me. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's rough. It was really good in here. Then I think there were like some other sort of keyboard, almost like sort of a synthesized piano, something along those lines. Yeah, it had a bit of piano vibe at the end. That, I can't remember the specifics of what it was, but that was nice. And then, of course, I guess it was sort of a trap beat over everything, was really good as well. Battery is pretty much dead, so I think I have enough life to do things, but fortunately, it's getting to this section right as I don't have too much more to say, so I'll wrap up the commentary on the song really quick. It was a really good song. I don't know where it's going to land in sort of my favorites from them, but it's definitely up there, and I think this one is going to have to grow on me a little more to really, really be up there, but this was a super cool one. Definitely one of the coolest K-pop songs I've heard, which I'm very glad to be able to say coming from BLACKPINK, as some of their stuff just not been hitting as hard recently. So to hear something from them that is just, oh, it's blowing me away, is really good. Now, nothing more to say on the song, and also I'm kind of wrapping things up a little early because battery is dying. So let's very quickly do the picker wheel, see what the next reaction is going to be. So let's give it a spin. We got a lot of things. Oh, an advertisement right as I spin. What do we get? Many a thing I'm looking forward to. Ooh, ST, that is the drum playthrough of, I think it's Alkaline, by Sleep Token. Vessel 2, we've checked out the other two. Very glad to be getting to that. Sleep Token, of course, one of my top 2 bands, tied with Baby Metal for #1. And so, yeah, very happy about that one. But that is going to do it for the video. Again, rushing through things a bit because battery is about dead. The battery on this thing is horrible. So, like I said, that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm rushing through this. Links in the description to music videos. You can go check it out. Discord server, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, playlist of all the songs I've reacted to. Use the ones on Spotify. And my link tree, which has all my other stuff in it, in case any of that interests y'all. Anyways, like I said, that is going to do it. So once again, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya.